Okay, good day, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the math class with Smart Mind Science Academy. And so far, we have studied how to multiply and divide algebraic terms. In today's lesson, uh, we are going to continue from where we stopped in the last lesson, which was on multiplying algebraic terms. So we've looked at different ways of doing that. So today's lesson will be looking at division of algebraic terms. So just like we do in mathematics, we do 14 divided by 7, which can also mean 14 over 7 like this, or it can also be written like this sometimes. It's the same thing. We can equally have A divided by B, or A over B, or A over B like this, something like this. So it basically means the same thing. So let's get to examples. For example, let's say I have 14A over 7. In this example now, 14A over 7. You already know from multiplication that this 14 and A are joined together by multiplication sign. So we can split this into 14 times A over 7. Now, this 7 is not for 14 alone or for A alone, it's for both of them. So it basically means that you only need to show one representation of what? Of the 7. What I mean is, if I have 14 plus A over 7, now this 7 is not for 14 alone. You have to write it as 14 over 7 plus A over 7. This is how we do it in fractions. Do you understand? But in this case now, it is multiplication. You can see, if you have a plus or a minus, you have to do it like this. But because it is multiplication, then there's another way to do this. So it has to be 14 times A over 7, without being specific to say that the 7 belongs to 14 or the 7 belongs to A. No, it's for both of them. So it means that if there's something that can take away the 7 from any of these two guys, then the 7 will disappear automatically. You don't have to now say that you need a 7 for another term. No. So in this case now, this 7 can divide 14 because we know that 2 times 7 will give us 14. So 7 is divided by 14. So 7 and 14 gives us 2. So that means that we have what? 2 times A, which is what? 2A. So 14A over 7 is the same thing as what? As 2A. Also, example 2, 1 over 3 of 36x. So when we have off in mathematics, it basically means multiply. So you have to do 1 over 3 times 36x over 1. Now, the way we do in fraction is that numerators will multiply numerators and denominators will multiply denominators. So we can just say 36 times 1, 36x times 1, that's 36x. Then 3 times 1, that's 3, because there's a multiplication sign. Now, the 3 can divide 36 because 3 will divide 36. So 3 here, 1. 3 in 36, 3 in 3 is 1, 3 in 6 is 2. So answer is 12x. That's the answer. Also, we have 1 over 5 of y. Again, we just do 1 over 5. We change it off to times, then we'll say y over 1. That just makes it solvable. So again, we say numerator multiply numerator, denominator multiplies denominator. So the ones on top are the numerators, and the ones below are the denominators. So when we get to fraction, I'll explain that more on that. So y times 1 will give us y, then 5 times 1 will give us 5. Since there's nothing that can divide, y cannot divide 5, y5 cannot divide y. So our answer is just y over 5. That's our answer. So these questions are meant to be simplified until you can't do anything again. You keep solving until you can't do anything again. You can't do anything further. Question 4, I have 5ab over a. Now, remember that 5 and a and b are joined together by multiplication. So 5 times a times b over a. Now, a can divide a because they are the same term and they have division sign between them. So a cancels a, and you only have what? 5b left, and that's the answer because we can't simplify further. Now, example 5, let's say I have 6xy over 2y. Again, 6 times x times y. Look at the difference between my times and my x. You can see that we can easily differentiate between the multiplication and the what and the letter. Also, 2 times y. So the y will cancel the y because they are the same term, and 2 will cancel the number. So 2 in 6, that's 3. So that gives us a 3x. So mind you, numbers will only divide numbers and letters will divide letters if they are of the same term. So let's take an example 6. I have x squared over x. Again, x squared means x times x, 2x, right? X times x, 2 x's multiplying each other, divided by x. Now, one x can cancel the other x. Any of the x, it doesn't really matter that it has to be one specific x. No, it could have been canceling this one at the left-hand side. So it can be any of the x. So it means that we have only one x left. So we just write x. Question 7, I have 24x squared y over 3xy. So this is where it gets interesting. So 24 times x squared is x times y over 3 times x times y. Now x cancels x, y cancels y, and 3 here 1, 3 in 24 is 8. So in the numerator, in the upper part, we only have 8x left, and the denominator we only have 1. So that's 8x over 1, which is 8x. Now let's look at a more advanced and complementary question. Let's say I have 49 p cube q squared r over 7 p squared q. Now, in this case now, what we do is we split 49 times p cube, that's p times p times p, so it has to be 3. But mind you, with multiplication sign, times q squared, that's q times q, then times r, all upon 7 times p times p times q. So the letters, now bring out your sword and divide. Q cancels q, p cancels p cancels p. 7 here 1, 7 in 49, 7. So the numerator we have 7 times we have p times we have this q times we have this r, all upon numerator is completely out. 1. So 7 times p times q times r, that's 7 p q r, and that's the answer. So the exercises for this class is going to be added to this video. So the exercises are already on this video. So I'll be writing them out. So we have 6a over 3. Question 2, 12a divided by 2. Question 3, 1 over 4 of 24x. Question 4, 18y divided by 6. Question 5, 1 over 5 of 15x. Question 6, 32x over 8. Question 7, 3x cubed over x. Question 8, 33 mn over 8a. Question 9, 42xy over 7y. Question 10, 54 ab over ab. Question 11, 72 a squared b over 8a. Question 12, 48x squared y over 12xy. Question 13, 40 pq squared over 8pq. Question 14, 5x cubed over x squared. Question 15, 6x squared divided by x. So these are the exercises attached to this lesson. And remember that you can always pause the video at every point to write the solutions in your notes. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next lesson. So in the next lesson, we'll be looking at order of operation, where we are going to be applying all what we have studied so far. Thank you so much. Bye.